Hey guys, Moneyman300 back for some more Forza 5 videos here, and this is finishing out S-Class on the Red and Blue for 1 and 2 series. I do have a couple bonus races that I'll get up there for you guys that were entertaining, some really good racing, but I want to get these tunes out here, so the next 3 videos are going to be the tunes. So, been a little slow in the videos lately. Had some problem with my capture software. Seems to be working okay now, and you know, kind of getting that time of year. Got a little behind on the videos, but we're good now. Should have these 3 tuning videos up over the next 3 days and a couple of bonus races, so got some content coming up. Then we're going to start talking Project Cars, because that's right around the corner. Going to get a couple of Project Cars videos out there. Anyway, let's move on with this. This is the Cobra 427 S-Class from the Red and Blue with Raceboy. And this was, we won right off the bat with this, and I actually got 2 versions of that, so I'm going to move through this fairly quickly because I have an all-wheel drive version and then a rear-wheel drive version. The rear-wheel drive version is significantly faster but more difficult to handle. The all-wheel drive version gets you off the line in a hurry but doesn't quite have the top end. So it's a great combination to have. You can just flip back and forth when you're in the lobbies and just grab whichever tune you need based on the track. So let's get back here, and the first one we're going to go over is the all-wheel drive version. Let me get in here, and we're going to head over to our engine swap area. We're going to take a look, and we do not have an engine swap on this, so let's take a look at our numbers here before we get too far into this. You see we got 6.2 speed, which that's not real fast for S-Class. Those of you guys that race in that class know that. But that 5.7 handling and that 9.7 acceleration, that 10.0 launch, that's where it's at with this car, and 6.0 braking, which is okay. But you're not going to want to run this on anything with like really long straights, but on those smaller tracks in multiplayer, get you out in front quick, this is the car you're going to want to drive. You saw that in the one race we had with it, and it was just, you know, you got out there and it was done. So I might try to get some bonus races with the rear-wheel drive version, because we didn't get any with that one. So even in the bonus races, just not a lot of tracks came up that were really appropriate for it. So here's the other one: 611 horsepower, 693 foot-pounds of torque, coming in only 2,300 pounds, 55% of that at the front, to 7.2 liters of displacement, and you can see I can still get a top speed of 171 miles an hour there. So we don't have that, but we will have our drivetrain swap. So we are swapping to the all-wheel drive drivetrain, and I don't remember if we did anything here. Yep, we got the positive displacement supercharger in our aspiration upgrade area. We're going to have both the race front bumper and the race rear wing. Don't need to go in to show you guys. I believe, yep, we're going to have full race tire compound. You might, now here's something, since this is the all-wheel drive version, we were going for grip, so this thing, that's why it's got so much launch. You might be able to get down in here, one of these two, and your handling's going to come down. This one's probably your best bet, and then replace with horsepower. And you can make this just a little bit faster. I was going just for that, just that super full grip. But if you want to do a little different, I think pretty much the same tune and everything should work on it. You could just add, you'll be able to add a little bit more horsepower in there. I don't think I tried that. Was there a check mark on there? I didn't ever even go try that. So this was a quick build. I built this literally like 10. It took me 10 minutes. Threw it together real quick right before we started racing. And if you saw in the first race of the series, and we finished 1, 2, 3 with this car, I left it on, and I didn't mean to. I just threw it out there as an alternative just to play around with, see if it was any good. And it ended up being the one that we finished with, and just because I accidentally ran it. So I didn't do any playing around with this. I didn't try any alternate versions. I didn't try less tires. I didn't try to make it faster. So it was literally a 10-minute build. So and tune, but it does well. So we're gonna have max width on the front and the rear. Our wheels in here are going to be, there we are, the RK BBS. And can't remember, did we upgrade these? Yep, we're 17-inch on the front and probably 17-inch on the rear as well. So there's our tires and wheels. Let's head over to the drivetrain area, and no transmission. That's interesting. Wonder what it does there. It says the speed goes up to 6.9, and I don't know if that's a gearing thing, but our top speed does not change here. So that's unlikely, but you really should take advantage. I didn't go in. I just threw all the parts in, did the tune, went in there, and I was going to come back to it later. We ended up winning. So I would highly advise you go ahead and just throw this on there. I think that's interesting. It goes from 6.9 to 6.2. I don't think it's going to make you that much faster, but it's going to give you an adjustable drive ratio in there, which could be important, although I felt like it was geared pretty well. But definitely slap this on there. I'm not going to do it right now just because it won't be real reflective of the tune if I do that. So no drive line. I did evidently come back in and check that, and we're going to have the race differential. Pop over here into our upgrade. We're going to have race brakes, race springs and dampers, race front roll bar, race rear anti-roll bar. I don't think I had any of this. I did have a version. I think you might see a version with that on there. And then full race weight reduction as well. So we're going for light. Got that down to 2,300 pounds. And in our engine, I have no idea what I have in here. So we're going to pop through here. Race intake. Race carb. Race ignition. We've got a lot of stuff on this. So maybe that's why I didn't bring those tires down. We probably got a lot of parts in here. Race exhaust. We do have the stock cams and valves, so that's one thing you would be able to use on here. You could probably take those tires off and get the cams and valves. It depends on what else we have up here. Race valves. Race engine block. I like race everything. Race pistons and compression. Race positive displacement supercharger. And I doubt I did this. Oh, I did. I even had to go race here, so I don't know. It's going to be hard if you take those tires down to match up your PI, but you can play around with it a little bit. So there's all of our parts. Let's hop into the tune real quick. 28 and 28. I've pretty much given up doing tire pressure, and that's just where I go all the time. You guys know that. Oh, it does have an adjustable final drive ratio, so I don't really know what the difference is going to be in the in the race, other than you get adjustable individual gears. But I don't know that it's more than a 6-speed or anything like that. So 4.1 is where I ended up there. That might have even been the default. 3.5 and 3.0, 2 degrees each direction. That's to help us get the car turning since it's all-wheel drive. You're going to see a lot of oversteer tune stuff here just to make sure the car can turn. 1 and 22.26 there. 517 and 504 with 3938. We got 9.7 on our front. Rebound stiffness, 10.9 on the rear. And then 1.0 and 1.7. And full downforce on that. Pretty standard as you get up towards S-Class. I got 53% to the front and that 200 brake force. And then I got 40% acceleration and 0 deceleration on the front differential. Rear differential is at 60 and 30 with 70% of that power going to the rear. So that is the all-wheel drive version. Now let's go in here. I'm going to back up. Would you like to apply this now? No, I would not. And I'm going to go in here and just, we're going to load a setup here and grab my tunes, grab my other one. And you can see the difference here, right? 8.0 speed, 825 horsepower, not as much acceleration and launch. Says it has more handling, but trust me, it's significantly more difficult to handle. And I think that's just the weight. It's only 2,000 pounds, but you can really spin the back end. You might want to run this with traction control. So let's get in here. Let's load this up and see what we have here. We'll install that. Waiting. Any time now. I don't know what I did. Saving. Okay, so let's back off here. All right, so let's head over here. So this is the more speed version of this. Look at our engine swap, and this is why we have that 5.9 liter V8 racing race block engine in it. So we do have that engine swap, and when we have stock drivetrain, there is no aspiration conversion. This is that stock car engine basically, so you just have the restrictor plate on it. That is the only engine thing you can do. We're still got the race front bumper and the race rear wing. I think our tires and stuff are real similar here. Yep, still got the race tire compound. And we saw full width in the front and full width in the rear. So a lot of this is the same. And we're going to have the same wheels as well, BBS RK. And we're probably going to have the same sizes in here as well. Yep, 17 in the front. And it looks like we got 17 in the rear. So, so far everything's the same except for that engine. Probably going to be a lot the same. I think now, so transmission, it has a different transmission. So we do have the Sport in there. Let's see what the race does. You can come all the way back here if you want to go to the stock for whatever reason, but Sport transmission is where you want to be at. Get that adjustable drive ratio. We do have one up with the street drive line, can't go up any higher than that, and we have the race differential. Heading over into our platform and handling, same stuff here: race brakes, race springs and dampers, race front anti-roll, race rear anti-roll. This might be a one up. Yep. And this is a trying to balance out the PI. I just needed PI, to be honest with you, and I couldn't get 4 anywhere else. And, you know, technically this can help with your stability and things like that. I don't know that it does, but because there's no engine parts to put on there, it made the PI is a little bit difficult to balance. So, and then I got the race weight reduction. Get that nice and light. And I don't believe we have anything in here. This is all you can do is restrictor plate, and I don't. So, so here's one thing you can do, and I thought about playing around with this. You could go take your tires down, you know, and even make this thing even more speed if you're going for that the super monster speed. But to me, this was supposed to be a shorter track grip car, not as grip as the all-wheel drive. But this was my original build. This is the one I thought we were going to race with the whole time. But you know that story already. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our tune. It's going to look a little bit different than the last one. And we're still at 28 and 28 there. We're down to 3.2 on that gear ratio, just really trying to keep those wheels from spinning. Drop that way down. 3.5 and 3.0 was the same, but 0 and 0 on our toe. Still 5.0 on the caster angle. You see we're at 16 and 13, so now we're going to understeer tune this a little bit because of the power and the rear wheel drive that we have. You'll see that in the springs significantly. 435 and 304 and 4.3 and 4.0 on our ride height. Just trying to get all that grip we can on the back. 9.5 and 10.5, 1.6 and 2.0 on our rebound and our bump. Full aero again on the front and the rear. 52%, I think it was like 53 on the other one. Not quite sure why it's 52 and 53. And 200%, and then really low differential here, 12 and 8. So there you go. That gives you 2 versions of this car. Super fun to drive. As a whole, I really like the collection of S-Class cars that we have. I mean, they turned out great. Just ended up being very good cars I use all the time now when I race in multiplayer in S-Class. So we're going to end it with that one. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.